Hey everyone, it's OSK, and today I have for you the complete talent guide for Spellbreak Chapter 2. Spellbreak is an amazingly detailed game with plenty of different ways to play, and it is my hope with this talent guide that I'll be able to break down some of the more nuanced side of things and help you improve your Spellbreak gameplay. In this Spellbreak talent guide, you will learn all about the different 21 talents in the game, what they cost, what they do, how to unlock them, and what classes to run on them, and so much more. This guide is great for all newcomers to the game and any returning veterans to the game, as well as some of these talents are brand new to the game. And in this guide, all footage and descriptions are gathered after the Spellbreak Chapter 2 patch is released, so even the gameplay clips will be 100% accurate to the chapter, unlike my previous videos, so we'll be well taken care of there. Now before we get started with the complete talent guide for Spellbreak Chapter 2, please consider leaving a like if you do think I do a good job with the guide, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content. I will have all my past guides in the description below as well, so definitely check those out. Now with that out of the way, let's get into this. Alright, first things first, we have to talk about the basics of talents in Spellbreak Chapter 2. Talents are extra abilities in the game that you select along with your class before you queue into a match in the HoloLands. Breakers are allotted 7 total talent points to select from 21 different talents, each divided into mind, body, and spirit slots with 7 talents in each category. Talent costs range between 1 point to 4 points, and some talents require you to play different classes up to a different certain rank to unlock them as playable. Once you're in the match, you'll start at the base value of the talent, and then you can read different talent scrolls to increase the level of that talent corresponding to the type of talent scroll you read. Some talents may have special effects that take place based on reading the talent scroll itself as well. Now that we know all about how talents work, let's get into the talents themselves, and this is a long one. We'll start with the mind talent slot and work our way down the list in order of cost, then go to body slot and finish up at the spirit slot. The first talent of the mind slot is intelligent. Intelligent is a 1-cost talent that reduces rune cooldown by 5%, 10%, 15%, and 25% at each level. The intelligent talent is unlocked for every player at the start of your Spellbreak journey, so you can take it with you into your matches right away. The intelligent talent is great for every style of play, and I highly recommend it for every class in the game. The benefit of having a flat decrease to rune cooldown for a cost of 1 talent point is amazing value for whatever you invest into the talent. There's not too much else to say about it. Intelligent is simply a great talent. It fits on a lot of different talent builds on every class, and I fully recommend you to run it any chance you get. Next, we'll talk about the Curious talent. Curious is a 2-cost talent unlocked after reaching Tempest rank 3 that lets you read talents at an increased rate of plus 100% and increases your chance to find an extra scroll by 12%, 25%, 35%, and 50% at each level. This means if you loot a chest or exile an opponent, you have that increased chance of finding an extra scroll, meaning you even have a chance to find 2 scrolls sometimes. The Curious talent is great for a support style setup if you would like to find extra talents quickly for your squad, and can also be used in solo battle royale matches to gain early talent scrolls. For this talent, I recommend the classes Stone Shaper, Pyromancer, and Frostborn to increase the power of other talents early on in Dominion and battle royale. The Curious talent is indeed a curious case, meant more for supporting your team and gathering a lot of early scrolls so you can snowball quickly in your matches. Third, we have the Spellslinger talent. Spellslinger is a 2-cost talent unlocked after reaching Tempest rank 5 that allows you to store extra gauntlets and runes in your inventory and decreases your sorcery cooldown by 10%, 12%, 15%, and 20% at each level. This means that you can take extra gauntlets and therefore elements with you into battle and activate the inventory slot to swap to the other gauntlet or rune if you so choose. Once swapped, the gauntlet or rune will have its cooldowns and charges reset to 0. The Spellslinger talent is great to mix up your playstyle on the fly and confuse your opponents and give yourself extra options in your fights. For this talent, I recommend the classes Pyromancer, Conduit, and Tempest, especially Conduit with the Overload skill, able to ignore the cooldown penalty of runes when swapping with Spellslinger. The Spellslinger talent is definitely not a talent to be taken lightly with the sheer number of possibilities to flip the battlefield on its head. Fourth on our list is the Tracking talent. Tracking is a 3-cost talent unlocked after reaching Frostborn rank 3 that outlines enemies damaged by you through terrain and invisibility for 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 7 seconds, and 10 seconds at each level for your entire squad. This means if you tag someone with a spell, sorcery, a toxic puddle, a leftover flame wall, it doesn't matter what, you and your teammates will see a red outline of them for however long your talent level lets you. The Tracking talent is great for a more control style setup that lets you constantly tag damage on the opponent to always have them revealed for your entire team. For this talent, I recommend the classes Pyromancer, Conduit, and Tempest, as all of these classes have easy ways to deal even small amounts of damage to constantly proc the tracking talent. It can be tricky to use effectively at first, especially in solo queue, but a well-coordinated team will be able to communicate and strategize around the information the tracking talent can provide. The fifth mind talent we'll cover is the Hardened talent. Hardened is a 3-cost talent unlocked after reaching Stone Shaper rank 7 that makes you immune to both Ignite and Corrosion and decreases the length of time you can be stunned or frozen by 35%, 50%, 75%, and 90% at each level. While it might not be full immunity from CC, it is a drastic decrease. Notice how this does not affect being slowed by frost or toxic puddles in any way. The Hardened talent is a great option if you're looking to be a reliable frontline member of your team and you like to charge straight into the action without worrying too much about CC or damage over time. For this talent, I recommend the classes Stone Shaper, Pyromancer, and Frostborn, as all of these classes love to engage the enemy in close range at some point, although Frostborn mostly will maintain its distance. The Hardened talent is very reliable as a damage mitigating tool for close encounters, so decide carefully who is going to be your main damage soaker and go in hot. The sixth talent on our list is the Runic Fluency talent. Runic Fluency is a 4-cost talent unlocked after reaching Conduit rank 3 that gives you 1 extra max rune charge and further decreases your rune cooldown by 5%, 7%, 10%, and 15% at each level, much like the Intelligent talent at 1 cost. This means that at any stage of a duel, you should always have a base rune advantage and therefore have movement and utility advantages more so than your opponent, making it a very good tool for just about any build in the entire game. It's a great extra cushion of movement if you're looking to travel somewhere quickly or just need that extra reliability in a team fight. For this talent, I recommend the classes Conduit, Toxicologist, and Tempest, as all of these classes possess high mobility options and adding an extra rune to the mix just makes it ridiculous. The Runic Fluency talent is an amazing tool for all different playstyles, so you can be your own judge at how to use it effectively to carry your matches. The last talent of the mind slot is the Rebirth talent. Rebirth is a 4-cost talent unlocked after reaching Pyromancer rank 3 that allows you to revive after being disrupted and enter stasis, where you are immune to damage and gain 25% extra movement speed for 4 seconds, after which reviving for 20, 30, 40, and 50 health at each level. And this effect only occurs after you increase your talent level and read another scroll after being revived already or after respawning into the game. This talent, while being absolutely awful in Battle Royale, can be used as a way to stall a capture point in Dominion, making it so a zone is constantly contested at least until your 4-second immunity has expired. This can allow for enough time for the rest of your team to catch up to the capture point and further contest from there. For this talent, I recommend the classes Stone Shaper, Pyromancer, and Conduit, as all of these classes can benefit from different tools to prolong their presence on Dominion capture points to advantage their team. The Rebirth talent is not a tool I would recommend using in Battle Royale. However, it does have a niche use in Dominion as a stalling tool, so while costly as a 4-point talent, it can be beneficial in coordinated zone capturing. Now that we're done with the mind slot, let's get into the talents of the body slot. The first talent of the body slot is the Tough talent. Tough is a 1-cost talent that increases your max armor by 10, 12, 15, and 25 at each level. This gives you some extra survivability in fights that you normally would not have, maybe even enough to survive an extra spell. For this talent, I recommend the classes Stone Shaper, Pyromancer, and Frostborn, as all of these classes love to be front and center in most engagements as a tank role or brawler type playstyle. The Tough talent adds a nice bit of bulk to any build you run in the Hollowlands and does come in a pinch in some close fights, especially in Dominion. The second body talent we'll cover is the Dexterity talent. Dexterity is a 2-cost talent unlocked after reaching Toxicologist rank 3 that gives you 3 extra movement speed while also reducing the mana cost for levitating by 15%, 18%, 20%, and 30% at each level. This gives you a much needed boost in mobility in any scenario and helps you to manage your mana a little bit better without having to worry as much about the cost of some extra verticality. For this talent, I recommend the classes Toxicologist, Frostborn, and Tempest, as all 3 classes love extra mobility in their kits to kite in and out of engagements and get to where they need to go in a hurry. The Dexterity talent is really a great talent to slap on any build you can fit in, whether it's for extra comfort with the movement or if you need to reposition in a hurry. The third body talent on the list is the Wellspring talent. Wellspring is a 2-cost talent unlocked after reaching Toxicologist rank 5 that gives you 25% extra mana regen while also increasing your damage for 6 seconds after depleting your mana to 0 by 10%, 12%, 15%, and 20% at each level. This makes your shots much more impactful over the course of a fight and should lead to some explosive results, especially with spells that already deal a lot of damage to begin with. For this talent, I recommend the classes Stone Shaper, Pyromancer, and Toxicologist, as all three classes have primary gauntlets that deal a lot of damage by themselves, and there are plenty of opportunities to run out of mana and prolong fights that you may find yourself in with each of these three classes. The Wellspring talent is fantastic for dishing out some damage and keeping the flow of battle going for long periods of time, so it fits right in with the new Dominion mode. The fourth talent we have is the Fellowship talent. Fellowship is a 3-cost talent unlocked after reaching Conduit rank 5 that spreads your healing to nearby allies within an 8-meter radius and makes the healing effective up to 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100% at each level. This makes it so that if you're running another healing talent, the Stone Shaper class, or drinking a potion, you can provide extra support to your teammates in your immediate vicinity. For this talent, I recommend the classes Stone Shaper, Conduit, and Frostborn. Stone Shaper can make good use of the Fellowship talent due to its Stone Skin skill, while Conduit and Frostborn can separate out from the action and provide space to get a safe heal off. Overall, the Fellowship talent is a great way to provide a little extra support for your team by healing in ways that you already would via a reset or other method. Talent number 5 for the body slot is the Vigor talent. Vigor is a 3-cost talent unlocked after reaching Stone Shaper rank 3 that boosts your max health by 25, 30, 35, and 50 at each level. The talent is all about early survivability in a way that's more useful than tough. This allows whoever picks it to provide some beefy frontline to any team composition and carry their team with bigger stat lines. For this talent, I recommend the classes Stone Shaper, Pyromancer, and Frostborn, as all three of these classes love to push the fight up close if they have the opportunity, and the extra health will help them survive an extra spell or two. The Vigor talent is a great tool to have in a duel and in larger engagements, and the beefy stats will definitely help you achieve the sweet taste of victory. The penultimate talent for the body slot is the Ambidextrous talent. Ambidextrous is a 4-cost talent unlocked after reaching Conduit rank 7 that allows you to gain the first class skill of every offhand gauntlet you wield while also reducing the mana cost of that gauntlet by 10%, 15%, 20%, and 35% at each level. This lets the user bring extra options into battle, much like the Spellslinger talent from before, and also provides a nice stat line with a mana cost reduction aspect as well. It makes for a great jack-of-all-trades talent, especially if you want to equip an offhand Frost or Fire. For this talent, I would recommend the classes Stone Shaper, Conduit, and Tempest, as all of these classes have great late game skills that they rely on heavily, and they can best utilize the early power of an offhand Frost, Fire, or Wind without too much downside. The Ambidextrous talent is costly at 4 talent points, but the right build can make it feel like 7, as the early power of some gauntlets and classes make this talent a force to be reckoned with. The final talent of the body slot is the Athletic talent. Athletic is a 4-cost talent unlocked after reaching Frostborn rank 5 that allows the user to increase their in-game character class level by 1 by reading a body scroll. This means that by collecting early scrolls, you'll be much more powerful in the early stages of the game in terms of class levels than the rest of the other players. This advantage does fall off as the game goes on, however. For this talent, I would recommend the classes Stone Shaper, Conduit, and Tempest, as each of these classes gain great advantages by leveling up more quickly. The Athletic talent is an interesting niche pick if you're looking to shut out your opponents early on. The viability of this talent will be completely dependent on what you're able to do with that early advantage, however. Now that we're done with the body slot, let's hop right into the Spirit talents. The first Spirit talent we'll cover is the Mystical talent. Mystical is a 1-cost talent that increases your max mana by 10, 12, 15, and 25 at each level. This is great as a filler talent onto any small costing spells you're able to fit into your build, like Lightning or Wind. For this talent, I recommend the classes Pyromancer, Conduit, and Tempest, as all of these classes have spells that can easily get early value from the Mystical talent, or they can viably run offhands that fulfill this role as well. Overall, the Mystical talent is a nice piece of extra firepower that can make a difference in some situations, especially in early Dominion fights. The second talent on this list is the Vampiric talent. Vampiric is a 2-cost talent unlocked after reaching Toxicologist rank 7 that allows the user to lifesteal any damage done to health by 20%, 25%, 30%, and 40% at each level. This allows you to have some extra survivability, especially in the early game, and in Dominion, it means you can exile some Valgard NPCs to restore your health as well if you need to. For this talent, I recommend the classes Stone Shaper, Pyromancer, and Tempest, as all of these classes love to be front and center in major team fights, and Vampiric gives a little extra sustain where it's needed the most. The Vampiric talent is a great addition to any frontline you're looking to run in Dominion, and does have some synergies with a few other talents and classes as well. The third talent we'll cover is the Thirsty talent. Thirsty is a 2-cost talent unlocked after reaching Pyromancer rank 7 that allows you to consume potions and armor shards faster by a factor of 25%, 35%, 50%, and 75% at each level. This lets you have an easier time healing during a breakpoint in a fight and carrying on to victory from there. For this talent, I recommend the classes Conduit, Toxicologist, and Tempest, as all of these classes have some way to get out of the fight relatively easily to allow for a reset. Overall, the Thirsty talent is a good option to get some quick heals, especially in Battle Royale when there isn't a lot of fighting going on. Talent number 4 for the Spirit slot is the Fortitude talent. Fortitude is a 3-cost talent unlocked after reaching Stone Shaper rank 5 that blocks a single source of damage before dissipating and reforming after 60 seconds, 50 seconds, 30 seconds, and 20 seconds at each level. This lets the user have a nice advantage against builds that rely on big sources of damage like Stone, Frost, or Toxic, and bolsters frontline builds by a bit. For this talent, I recommend the classes Stone Shaper, Toxicologist, and Frostborn, as all of these classes appreciate the extra defense Fortitude provides on the front side of fights. The Fortitude talent is a great tool for dueling and facing off against an enemy boulder or ice lance, and knowing when and when not to push fights with this talent can be the difference between a cap point and your life. The 5th talent on our list is the Inspired talent. Inspired is a 3-cost talent unlocked after reaching Pyromancer rank 5 that boosts your spell damage as long as you have a rune charge available to use by a factor of 10%, 12%, 15%, and 20% at each level. This allows for access to a bit more damage at the start of a fight and encourages a more reserved playstyle to have constant uptime on the damage buff. For this talent, I recommend the classes Conduit, Toxicologist, and Frostborn, as all of these classes either like keeping their distance or running certain builds that maintain rune charges at all times. The Inspire talent is overall a great addition to any build out there, especially long-ranged ones, and proper play will result in a proper amount of exiles. The penultimate talent for the Spirit slot is the Foresight talent. Foresight is a 4-cost talent unlocked after reaching Frostborn rank 7 that allows the user to see future Spellstorm rotations and Mana Vault spawn points in Battle Royale, and also reveals enemy locations within 100 meters on the minimap at an interval of 10 seconds, 8 seconds, 5 seconds, and 3 seconds at each level. This allows for future planning of team rotations in Battle Royale, as well as extra awareness of enemy locations. For this talent, I recommend the classes Pyromancer, Conduit, and Frostborn, as all of these classes love to provide oversight to the battlefield naturally anyway. Ultimately, the Foresight talent is great in an open environment where the action is more spread out, so Battle Royale is a great place to try it out. And now at long last, we have the final talent for the whole of Spellbreak Chapter 2, the Gilded talent. Gilded is a 4-cost talent unlocked after reaching Tempest rank 7 that allows the user to raise the rarity of each piece of gear by 1 tier after reading a Spirit Scroll. This means that in a game mode like Dominion, players can focus on upgrading their gear outside of the shop and then use their boons on blessings instead, which allows for huge snowballing potential. For this talent, I recommend every class. It is the best talent in Dominion bar none right now, and there is no excuse to not run it at the moment. As long as you can exile Valguard and other players relatively well, you should always find yourself more powerful than your opponents in the early stages. Overall, the Gilded talent is a fantastic addition to any build, and it is extremely powerful in Dominion. Battle Royale much less so because the rarity takes care of itself anyway, but you can still use it to decent success. And that is the end of the complete talent guide for Spellbreak Chapter 2 for newcomers and returning vets in 2021. Thank you guys so much for watching. Now, I will say that some of the builds I ran in order to get footage for each talent are probably not the best, so please take the builds you saw with a grain of salt, but I'll have more videos on that later. Nonetheless, I hope you guys all learned something today, and I want you to answer something for me. What talents do you like the most? And if you're new, what talents can you not wait to use out there? I'm personally a big fan of Gilded, but let me know down in the comments. Of course, like I said at the beginning, please be sure to leave a like if you like the video, and subscribe for more Spellbreak Chapter 2 guides in the future. That's going to do it for me, guys. I've been OSK, y'all have a great day, and I'll see you all out there.